You know what we do. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Senior year in high school, I had this literature teacher by the name of Mike Hibbs, Coach Mike Hibbs. He was also the head basketball coach at Good Counsel at the time, right? And he was obsessed as a literature teacher. And anyone that has ever had Mike Hibbs as a literature teacher knows this, and I can confirm this, knows that his book, the book that he was absolutely obsessed about, was a book titled Invisible Man, an incredibly famous book by Ralph Ellison that has touched my heart in so many different ways, all right? So he had us read it my senior year in high school. And once I was through with college and I was going through a lot of difficult shit, trying to struggle, like not trying, but struggling like a motherfucker, trying to find out what my identity was and all that kind of stuff, I went and got another copy and I reread it from cover to cover, and it was almost like it was my biography. It was almost like a memoir, Aswand Cruickshank memoir. Basically, to give you some backstory, just to give you a little quick synopsis. It's basically a book about a boy who goes through an entire book nameless, and he's sickened at the way that people ignore him, people ghost him. You know, just every single person is ghosting him, but he's putting in so much work, doing so many different things. And at the end, the moral of the story is every one of us is invisible. Every single person on this earth is invisible. No one necessarily cares. You can count on on one hand the amount of people that really give a shit about you. All right. All of us are invisible, which means we all have to live with a principle. We have to believe in a certain principle. All right. So here's what happened. Here's the power. The reason I'm telling you this, the power of books, the possibilities that come from books. What got me to move to Florida was there's a guy, his name is Neil Phillips. He used to be the athletic director in Maryland at a school in Maryland named the Landon School. He opened up a school named Visible Man Academy up in Sarasota, Florida. All right. And I got in touch with him, and that was one of the things that got me to Florida. And by the time I was out here long enough, I realized, you know what? If Ralph Ellison could put his own intellectual property out there and touch people's heart in a place in which he can get someone who he does not know Neil Phillips, all right, to get someone to open up an entire charter school, imagine what you can do when you start to believe it and you put the intellectual property out there and people start to follow you and you develop that following. But it would not have happened. I'm telling you right now, this is the really one thing that you have to get in this message. It would not have happened without Mike Hibbs, whose role as a literature teacher and basketball coach, that was his role to get, if he took on the mindset of, okay, these are just guys that I want to help them with their SAT scores and all that other bullshit. No, he wanted to give us something that we were going to carry into in our later years and think about as we were becoming adults and think about more, all right? It's always puzzling to people when I tell them I work at the learning center that I work at, and in my mind, I have people like Mike Hibbs to thank, because I know the work I'm doing, there's absolutely no other teacher in the KinderCare Learning Center system that has intellectual property out there, that has books out there, that has it to where you can speak to a parent right now and get them believing that one guy that I see every day taking care of my son or daughter, or watching my son or daughter all day, is going to be something that my son or daughter, be someone that my son or daughter can look up to. And that's how we have to live our lives, because life is too short. In fact, it's crazy because I tracked down, I looked up Mike Hibbs, and he's at a school in Canterbury. Actually, I'll put it in this. He's at a school that's not too far from me. It's only like an hour-and-a-half drive from here. So Mike Hibbs, if you catch this, make sure we catch up, man. I got to visit, I think it's called the Canterbury Schools or something like that. One of the coaches is also, one of the faculty members is also a PCA trainer and all that. But anyway, again, I will do an entire podcast episode on this, because this is really, really powerful stuff. And in fact, these, just so you do know, might as well make the announcement now, these videos are going to be released as podcasts as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to start that, but make sure, again, if you have not yet, subscribe to the Move Swiftly podcast. And also check out Make Your Move. It's available on all streams. The podcast is available on all streams. Also check out makeyourmove.com, makeymove.com. Speaking of books, purchase all the books you can buy, purchase all the merch you can get. Also, the hiring seminars and the workshops. Make sure you're inquiring about those as well. You can get information on that on makeyourmove.com. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more. more soon.